this is a huge cover-up. Okay, people are dying, committing suicide. We're not knowing why. And in today's paper, she allegedly left a suicide note. This is the suicide note that she left. And she wants victims of sexual abuse to come together so that these people that perform this sexual abuse can be held accountable. Hey everyone, welcome to another Sit Down with Michael Franzese. Hope everybody is doing well. All is very good, very blessed on this end. As always, my friends, I give all the praise, honor, glory, and thanksgiving to our God for that. People, I got to ask you this. When is this Epstein file going to really be open for all of us so we all know what was going on through this 20 or 25 year nonsense that went on with Epstein and who knows how many people that were involved with him? You know, it's really quite upsetting when you have the Epstein documents, you have the whole JFK confidential classified documents that haven't been made public for us yet. You got stuff with Diddy going on, 20 years, you know, what they're saying about him, the allegations against him, an abuser of women and human trafficking and all of this stuff. And we don't get to see any of this. Why? Because there are people in high places that are involved in this stuff. It's so evident. You don't have to be 20 years on the street to know this. I mean, it's shocking stuff. How do they get away with it for so long? That's what I want to know. For so long, these people are able to suppress stuff that you and I would be in so much trouble for, would be headlines, would be all over the place. And it's really, you know, it's just not right, you know, to put it mildly. I'd like to say something else, but it's not right. So we have another issue now on the whole Epstein matter that, again, it's been kept under wraps. We know that there's some very high-profile people involved in this. I am telling you, I'll swear to it, I know it for a fact, there's no question Epstein did not commit suicide. I was on that tier, I was in that cell, no way he committed suicide. So why did they kill him? Because they're hiding things. No question about it. There's people in prominent places that don't want the stuff to get out. They were worried, concerned that maybe he was going to start to open up. Who knows what it was? Diddy, the same thing. High-level people told me, you know, that he was an informant for many years. I don't know it to be a fact, but why would you dismiss any of this with all this shady stuff going on? Who knows? People, it's why I wrote the darn book, Mafia Democracy, because there's more things that go on the government level that is shady and downright mafia-like that we don't know about. So I want to talk about something that happened today with this woman, you know, Giuffre, that just committed suicide. She was one of the main accusers of Jeffrey Epstein. One of the main accusers. Tragic story. She committed suicide on April 25th. But I want to go down the whole Epstein file and some of the shady stuff that we know of. Are we ever going to see this revealed? Who knows? I don't know. But let's talk about it. I want to start with some of the shady deaths that happened. And again, today we're going to discuss in further detail. Virginia Giuffre was one of Epstein's most prominent accusers. First of all, people, I've taken a lot of notes here. I don't want to miss anything, so you know what I'm talking about. She died by suicide, allegedly, at age 41 on April 25th, 2025, a couple of days ago. She was in Western Australia, where she had been living for several years. She was found in near Gabby, Australia. It was one of the earliest and loudest voices calling for criminal charges against Epstein and his enablers. Remember that, enablers. Who is that? Was it CIA? Was it prominent people? People in the United K? People right here that we know? You know, Clinton, 27 trips on that plane to Epstein Island. 27 trips, but he had no idea what was going on. Yeah, all right. There's a bridge in Brooklyn I want to sell you also. Let me give you some of the other very suspicious deaths that happened related to Jeffrey Epstein. Well, he died on August 10, 2019 in his Manhattan jail cell while awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges. His death was officially ruled a suicide by hanging by the New York City Medical Examiner, though there's been significant public skepticism, mainly from me, about his conclusion. He was found with an orange noose fashioned from, quote, a sheet or a shirt, according to his Justice Department Inspector General. Absolute nonsense. I was in that cell. There's no way that he could have hung himself. Cameras everywhere, patrolling back and forth, and there's nothing set up in there properly to hang yourself. It would take you hours to hang yourself in that place, believe me, because you couldn't do it effectively. There's nothing there, nothing on the ceiling, nothing anywhere else. This guy was killed, no doubt in my mind. Let's keep going. Jean-Luc Brunel. He was a French modeling agent and Epstein associate who was arrested by French authorities in 2020 and later died by suicide, another suicide. He was found dead in his prison cell at La Sante prison in Paris on February 19th, 2022, where he was awaiting trial on charges of rape of minors and sexual harassment. His lawyer stated Brunel hanged himself in his cell around 1 a.m. local time. Are we ever going to know that that's the truth? Of course not. Why are all these shady suicides and everybody dying here? Pedro Gaspar, a model and party promoter associated with MC2 Models, founded by Brunel and allegedly financed by Epstein, who lived above one of the modeling agency's locations in Manhattan. He died of what some insiders considered to be a suspicious drug overdose on August 6, 2012. His death was ruled an accident due to acute intoxication due to the combined effects of ethanol and cocaine, according to the medical examiner's report. All these people are dying around Epstein. Why? All this suspicion, and we don't know anything. Where are these files that they were going to make public? Where are they? How much of it has been redacted? Who are they protecting? 25 years this is going on with this guy. He gets a slap on the wrist the first time around. 25 years. How do they get away with it? The same with the Diddy thing. 20 years of this alleged abuse. Hundreds of victims and witnesses, but we don't know anything about it, and he gets away with it for all of this time. Doesn't make sense. Same thing with the JFK files. Why are they suppressing them? Because they're lying about it. It's obvious, people. Like I said, you don't have to spend 20 years on the street to know that this is very shady. I'm speaking directly to all you men out there. You know my background. You know where I came from. For the last 30 years, I've been speaking to men all over this country, really all over the world, helping them overcome some issues they're having in their life. I know what you want to accomplish. I know the goals that you want to achieve in your life, and I want to help you. Join the Franzese family. I'll be holding monthly Zoom calls and webinars to deal with the issues that you're dealing with directly. This is something that is a legacy piece for me. I want to help men. I want to improve what's going on in this country, and I want to improve your life. So join Franzese family and get a piece of me that I know is going to be a benefit to all of you. This is about the personal struggles of Virginia Giuffre. Very sad. She was reportedly undergoing significant personal turmoil at the time of her death, including a painful divorce and custody battle with her husband, Robert Giuffre, after 22 years of marriage. She had not seen her 3 children, ages 19, 16, and 15, for months due to a restraining order filed by her estranged husband. This woman went through hell. She was abused from the time she was 12 years old. My granddaughter is 12 years old. I would lose my mind, and the person would probably lose his life or some other significant damage, whoever abused my daughter. So these women, they are entitled to know who these abusers were. They are entitled to have these people held accountable, but still, cover up. It's a huge cover up. She had previously posted a very troubling photo showing a bruised face, which she attributed to being hit by a bus, though this claim was contested by a bus driver. I don't know about that. She's saying one thing, they're saying the other. Her death highlights the profound and enduring impact of sexual abuse and trafficking, with her family stating that the emotional toll of a lifetime of sexual abuse became unbearable. Look, ladies, I don't know, never involved in this, God forbid, would never even think about it, never had any of my family members involved in this, but I can just imagine 12, 13, 14, 15 years old young women being abused by elderly men. How disgusting is that? How despicable is that? Really? Does it get to them emotionally for the rest of their life? Yeah, I would think so. We've heard from so many of these victims. They just don't lead a normal life after that kind of abuse. It's horrible. And we don't know who these people are. We can't hold them accountable because the people on the top are covering them up. FBI, who knows who else? It's despicable. And our government needs to be held accountable to this. No public statement from Prince Andrew. As of now, Prince Andrew has not issued any public statement or comment regarding Giuffre's death. Royal commentators, including Ingrid Seward, have urged him to respond with compassion, emphasizing that silence could lead to further public criticism. Well, I mean, he settled a lawsuit with her. Now, some people could say, well, you could say anything and get away with it. It's better to settle a lawsuit than not have this drag out. That's a possibility. I wouldn't say that. There are some women that would take advantage of that. I don't think Giuffre is in that position. I don't think that's her case. She was abused from the time she was 12 years old. Prince Andrew's name has come up several times in this. Of course, he denied it, but it's come up, and then he settles a lawsuit with her. You figure it out. Royal family's emergency meeting. In response to Giuffre's death, the royal family convened an emergency meeting at Buckingham Palace. Sources suggest that discussions focused on managing the potential fallout and strategizing Prince Andrew's next steps. Why is he going through all this trouble if he had nothing to do with her? Come on. Impact on Prince Andrew's public image. Experts believe that Giuffre's death further damages Prince Andrew's reputation, making any potential return to public duties highly unlikely. Royal expert Richard Fitzwilliam stated that the situation, quote, cements Prince Andrew's public downfall. He was one of the leading names being mentioned with Epstein, for quite some time. Bill Clinton, the same thing. Notice Bill Clinton said, well, I made 27 trips, but I didn't know anything that was going on Epstein Island. You believe in Santa Claus, people? I don't. But if you believe that, you may as well believe in him, the Easter Bunny, the Good Fairy, the whole bit. Legal implications of the settlement. Giuffre's family is reportedly seeking to prevent her estranged husband from claiming any part of the 12 million euros, that settlement that she received from Prince Andrew. Why would you settle for 12 million euros with somebody you had nothing to do with? They aim to ensure that her legacy and advocacy will continue without interference. Controversial remarks by Prince Andrew's associate. Lady Victoria Hervey, a former associate of Prince Andrew, faced backlash after making insensitive comments on social media about Giuffre's death. Although she later issued a statement acknowledging the tragedy, her initial remarks were widely condemned. Look, there's a lot of stuff. I don't want to pick on Prince Andrew because he wasn't the only one here. But the fact remains that this is a huge cover-up. Okay, people are dying, committing suicide. We're not knowing why. And in today's paper, she allegedly left a suicide note. This is the suicide note that she left. And basically, there's going to be a protest going on. And, I believe it's in Washington at some point. And she wants victims of sexual abuse to come together so that these people that perform this sexual abuse can be held accountable. And I think it's our time we stand up for this. Look, you know what? All you people that claim to worry about women's rights, why don't you show that in your behavior instead of just talking about it? You, the same people up there that have power, all right, why don't you have the power to get these Epstein documents revealed totally so we can see who the abusers were and hold them accountable? The same women and the same people on the left that are silent about transgender men or women, whatever they are, competing against women in women's sports. Why are you silent about that? Because you're a bunch of hypocrites in plain English. The same way you're covering all this stuff up, the same way this whole lie about Epstein's death. Everybody is silent about it. Why? We need to know this. These people need to be held accountable. And look, it's the same as anything else. People that broke the law, instead of saying we have to abide by the rule of law, let's hold the people accountable that broke the law. Let's not give preemptive pardons 11 years ago, going back 11 years to people that allegedly, had criminal conduct. Why don't we investigate it and find out if it's true or not? Why are we giving preemptive pardons to people like Adam Schiff, like Nancy Pelosi, like all these other people, like the entire Biden family? Why are we doing that? Why are we not investigating? Why do we not want to know everybody that was involved in this whole Epstein matter for 20 years? The same with Diddy. The same with the JFK assassination. Why are they not being delivered to us in their entirety? So another woman committed suicide. Lifelong, emotional distress over being abused as a 12-year-old woman. You know what? It's wrong, people. It's wrong. I'm telling you, we have a mafia democracy to some degree. We've had that. All of these cover-ups, all of these, cover-ups for their friends, for people in power, payoffs going on back and forth. This has got to stop. You know, Donald Trump said there's going to be transparency in government. Let's see it. Instead of complaining about somebody that was deported, you know, even if he was wrongly deported, he wasn't an upstanding citizen, and he was deported back to his state, back to his country. Instead of jumping all over this, why don't we jump all over this Epstein matter? Why don't we jump all over the JFK matter? Why don't we jump all over the Diddy matter and find out who these abusers are and hold them accountable? We need transparency in government. The same way, I know people are going to say this is not political. If DOJ is truly uncovering all of this abuse of taxpayer money, then the people who did that need to be held accountable. We as taxpayers should not have to be spending our money on their pet projects that don't benefit us. Transparency, that's what this needs to be all about. In 2024, a group of victims filed a lawsuit accusing the FBI of covering up its failure to investigate Epstein properly. The FBI, under the Biden administration, what did they do? They tried to quiet things on the internet that didn't agree with the Biden administration's policies or their agenda. We know that. The FBI was corrupt for quite some time. It's getting cleaned up now, but we have to admit it. So who were they covering for? Many of these people might have been Biden's friends, might have been Pelosi, Clinton, who knows whose friends they were. They covered it up. Chris Wray, they covered it up. And Comey, before that, covered it up. All this Epstein, for 20 years, they allowed it to go on. The Trump administration vowed to release all the documents related to the charges against Epstein, including lists of high-profile people associated with him. A first phase of documents was released in February, but reportedly contained no major revelations. Come on, Donald. You said we were going to get it all. You may not know what's there, but get Bondi, get the, Cash Patel on this. Let's get these documents. We want to see who was involved in this. We're entitled to that. This has been human trafficking, abuse of women for how many years now? We need to know what really went on there, who the abusers were. You know, all of these people that, women's rights, but when it comes to covering up their own, they don't care about women's rights. When it comes to transgender women or men or whatever they're called, competing against women in sports, then they don't care about women's rights. Do you see the hypocrisy here? Do you understand the hypocrisy from the top? I've been singing this for a long time now. These people do not care. They only care about how to benefit themselves. That's what we need to stop. Trump promises transparency. Let's see it. We need to see this list. We need the documents. These people that committed these heinous acts need to be held accountable like any other American citizen would be held accountable. At the time of Brunel's death, a judge in New York was weighing the release and unsealing of documents that could shed more light on Epstein's trafficking operation and who was involved, with several people labeled as John Does fighting to keep their names redacted. Well, why are they John Does? Why? If they were involved with Epstein in any capacity, why are they John Does? Why are we not knowing who they were? Because they're high-profile people that are being protected. Very simple. You don't have to be a mathematician or a genius or an Einstein to figure this out. They're protecting one another. I'm done today. I can go on and on, but people, I'm done. It's sad. Here's a woman committed suicide. For her entire life, she's been trying to get this in front of the court, in front of the public, to hold her abusers accountable. We have people being killed, committing suicide, covering up. It's just wrong. That's it for today, my friends. How do I always leave you? Same way. Never going to change, even when I'm excited. Be safe. Be healthy. Yes, God bless each and every one of you. And you know what, God? Let this all come out. Let it come out to light. Let people be held accountable. You're a loving God. You're also a just God. So, God bless each and every one of you. Even the people that have been, abused by this, we want them to be blessed, so that they can move on with their life. And yes, people, I'll see you next time. Take care. My friends, if you enjoyed this video, I'm going to give you an opportunity to become my partner in business. Franzese Wine experiencing tremendous growth over the past couple of years, and we're going to experience even further growth in the next few years. You're going to have an opportunity to be my partner because you've been supporting me, you've been my fan base, and I want to share this with you. So go to invest.franzesewine.com, and offer you shouldn't refuse.